So we're talking about Octagon Hall. This is a place that you guys as ghost hunters can go to. This is a non-profit museum that's in Franklin, Kentucky, and they actually make about 90% of their yearly budget off y'all. Ghost groups go there, rent the place for the night, and have great investigations there. They've had so many ghost hunters go to Octagon Hall that if you talk to the curator of the museum, he can identify the spirits by their voices now. You play him your EVPs and he'll go, oh yeah, that's so-and-so. Oh yeah, that's so-and-so. I mean, they get that much activity. They get that much EVPs, video, photos, everything. It's well worth the trip if you can get a group together to go do it, and it's a lot of fun. So the big story about Octagon Hall, though, is that back in Civil War days, because it's all Civil War stories, I'm going to be telling you all Civil War stuff, Confederate soldiers got trapped in that area, and they actually were befriending them, and they would hide them up in the attic. And the crafty way that they would keep the Union from finding them was they also raised bees up there. So they would put these soldiers in bee suits, send them up into the attic, and they'd be up there, you know, with bees all flying around. And so when the Union troops would come in to search the house, they'd open up that hatch and there'd be bees. So they just, oh, okay, so nothing's up there. And they did this successfully for a very long time. Unfortunately, at least once, probably twice that they've been able to document, the soldiers lingered long enough that the wounded soldier died up there. And the other tragedy that happened there is that a young girl who worked with the slave side of the house was downstairs tending a fire for cooking, and a hot ember jumped out on her dress as she caught on fire, got third-degree burns, and ended up passing away because of the burns in the house. So the most common activity there is the girl getting yelling for help or mommy or things of that sort associated with her burning, and the soldiers who are often crying out in pain and things like that, and a male servant who actually was sort of the believe it or not, helping the family hide the Confederate soldiers who lived there. So these were the three main spirits that we were looking for. So I'm going to show you a little clip here about capturing stuff, and this is a kind of a long little video, so I think it's probably the longest one. And it's going to show a couple different things that happen. A lot of times when you start capturing stuff and you've interacted with them, you'll notice it'll start to peak. You'll hit, suddenly stuff just starts going crazy, like just all around you. And this was that moment. We had been there shooting for about 5 hours, and then all of a sudden we started hearing voices talking in rooms, motion detectors that we had set up on a bed where supposedly the elderly black male, the slave, would go and lay on this bed. People had seen him there. We had set up motion detectors there in case anyone tried to lay down. It just started going off for no reason all of a sudden. And then other strange things. So I'm just going to play, this is a clip from Octagon Hall. This was the girl's room who burned. They kept it intact for her. See the cameraman jump?
Did somebody just lay down on the bed? Mary, if you're on the bed, can you move that trigger object? Can you move that toy for us?
Are you trying to move it? Already? That is very odd. No, that. Not that.
Surely we're not setting this off.
How?
I mean, we walked all around the damn thing a while ago.
We're not setting it off because your camera was pointed at it with an IR light and everything else for this whole last hour and it never went off. Heck, we didn't even know for sure it was working. Let me move over here. Okay, Mary, if you're trying to move that object on the bed, can you do it one more time? Can you go towards that toy I placed on the bed and try to move it? See, if it was our camera setting off, it'd be doing it. I'm right in front of it now.
It doesn't have any kind of alarm system or like the batteries are going down.
No. If the battery goes down on it, it just goes dead.
I don't know if it gave you like a warning.
No. It's not that it matters. They have fresh 9 volts in them. I mean, that was just... Maybe she just waited for us to come back into the room before she wanted to move it.
She was already on the bed and we just spooked her whenever we came in and she took off. I don't know why she would come back. Maybe she liked the sound.
I don't know. This seems kind of odd that all of a sudden it just started going nuts like that. I mean, clearly somebody was going between those motion detectors.
I need to put another tape in there and keep that thing hanging on this.
You know, it just seems funny that it happens right after your tape runs out.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Luckily, we came up here and we got that camera.
It's just very weird. Well, let's see what else we got. Leave it alone. If you want to play with it some more, Mary or Soldier, you can.
Sure, you go ahead there.
Just trying to get some nice shots of everything. Something in here's messing with my focus. Right over here. There's something over there struggling with the focus. That little nook. It's like it keeps trying to autofocus. See, it's doing it again. It's like it's trying to autofocus on something over there. And that would have been, what, the top of the stairs? No, that's the back of the stairwell. Yeah, it just, dude, it does. It keeps going out of focus on this little corner. Back straight ahead. That little nook there. It'll just sit there and be normal, and then all of a sudden, there it goes, see? It doesn't, this camera doesn't do that. Something's moving closer to the lens to pull it out of focus. And if something's over there, can you come towards this camera in my hand? If there's somebody standing in front of us, can you move closer to us, please? Look, it just did it. It just did it. Watch. Can you do it again for me? Can you move towards me right now? Just come walk towards me if you're standing in front of me. more time, please. Just, if you're standing in front of me, walk right towards me a little bit. The first time I asked it, well, it just now did it. There it goes, nuts. Look at that. Okay, can you move back now? Can you move away from me? I'm getting cold. My arms are starting to get, there it goes. It just faded back. Now it's doing it again. Now my arm's freezing cold again. Are you standing in front of me? Can you come right towards this camera? There it went. Thank you. Can you do it again? Something just moved. Something's right in front of me, guy. Right in front of me, and I can feel the electricity on my arm. The front of my arm feels weird. Try it one more time, and we'll leave you alone. That's it. Okay, we'll leave you alone. Thank you. Something's touched me. Right in the middle of my back.
And that was a weird moment. So you can say a lot of stuff was just kind of happened all at once. I mean, and if you took any of those one things by themselves, you know, you would think, you know, that could have been the IR on the camera, you know, setting off the motion detector, or, you know, well, maybe the autofocus was messing up a little bit at that moment. When you put it all together, you know, we got a lot more than this, and I'm gonna play a couple clips, but we were also catching EVPs at the exact same time. It was just like all of a sudden the paranormal door opened and everything started going nuts and haywire. And I mean,